Hi children, I am Gnanavel, biology teacher, Bharathidhasanar Matric Higher Secondary School, Arakkonam. Now today we are going to see an interesting topic, the reproduction in plants. All the living things to reproduce. That means ability to reproduce their young own kind of the species, As an example, we see the cat. Cat reproduce their young ones called a kitten, which grow into and form a adult cats. Plants to produce the what means a seedling. Now, a plant, a seed, grow into the what means a seedling. Then seedling in due course of time, which are a produce the what means new plant. It may be mango tree or a bean plant or some other banyan tree like this. You and yourself have been brought from this world by our parents through the process of reproduction. What is mean by reproduction? Re means one second, production means to produce their own kind of the species. Now the reproduction is defined as all the living things have a special power to produce their own kind of the species. This ability we call it as reproduction. In Tamil word inaperukam. Right. Now we have to go for the what means all the living organism. Why all the living organism need to reproduce? Because all the organisms have certain lifespan, certain period of lifespan, a definite lifespan. Within this lifespan, a plant is able to grow and mature, and then is a what means reproduce. Then the plant will be died. Like we take the what means one of the plant that is called the annual plant. What is mean by annual plant? This plant is live for only 1 year or only one season. Afterwards the plant will be died. In other term is a perennial. Perennials which go for several years, which live for several years. They reproduce the what means afterwards. After that is reproducing. The plant is live behind the what mean some individual. This individual which are afterwards is matured. We produce once again to produce their own kind of the species. This ability we call the word is reproduction. Up now the reproduction is thus a means of perpetuation. Perpetuation or continuation of species. Suppose if the plant is, they would not do any reproduction. The plants are not only plants, including human and animals, leads to species extinction or a species perish. What is mean by perish? That is. Now let us we go for the what mean modes of reproduction. What is mean by modes? Modes means nothing but kinds or types. All the living organism, they exhibit several methods of reproduction. Now the reproductions are broadly grouped into two main divisions, namely sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Mr. Gautam, could you understand my topic? Yes, sir. Very good. What are the two types of reproduction? Asexual and sexual. Very good. Sit down. Now, be very attentive. Look at the board. Right. Now, what is meant by sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction means in this method of, this is characterized by a fusion of gametes. What is mean by gametes? Gametes is nothing but a sex cells, male sex cell and female sex cell are fusing and producing the what mean young one. Up now, how many parent is needed? 2 parent is needed in this method. This is advanced in human, higher plants and higher animals. Let us we go for the next topic, asexual method. On the other hand is a method of reproduction which occurs no any fusion of gametes takes place. No any fusion of gametes takes place. Such type of reproduction are known as asexual reproduction. This is a mainly commonly observed in lower plants, lower animals. Let us we have to go for the next topic, that is asexual reproduction in plants. Methods. What are the methods of asexual reproduction? Now, how many parent is involved in asexual reproduction? Single parent. Only one parent is involved. Now, methods of asexual reproduction in plants. First method, binary fission. Binary fission. Budding. Fragmentation. Regeneration. Spore formation. Vegetative propagation. These are the method of what? Asexual reproduction. Mr. Amish Raju, stand up. Can you say any one type of asexual reproduction in plants? Sir, binary fission. Very good. B, sit down. Now we have to go for the what is binary fission? The name itself it has the what means meaning. That binary fission. Now, what are the methods of asexual reproduction? These are methods of asexual reproduction in plants. What are the methods? That is binary fission, budding, fragmentation, regeneration, spore formation, vegetative propagation. Okay. Then the next is binary fission. Binary fission. Bi means two. Fission means splitting. Now we take the what we say one chalk piece. This one you assume as a bacteria. This could be say changes into what? Two things. This is we call the what is simple technique is called the what is binary fission in bacteria. This is a picturized view. Binary fission. This is one of the most common method of reproduction which occurs in a lower organisms, unicellular organism, that is called the what is bacteria, which occurs in bacteria. In this method mainly the body, that is a parent bacteria, that is one it divides into two equal halves, then followed by the nucleus. The nucleus gets divided. The nucleus gets divided into two. Each nucleus enters into form two structures, two fragments. These two structures after the full grown to develop into two new individual. From parent bacteria gives rise to how many bacteria? Two. This method is called binary fission, which occurs in bacteria. Next we go for the second heading, budding. Budding is commonly seen in yeast. Yeast, we know the yeast powders are added into the bakery to make baking the biscuits or cakes are very softness. That is called yeast, unicellular fungus. Now the yeast, they develop the small one a bulb-like structure. They develop the one small bulb-like structure is called bud. This bud is, within the bud, the nucleus gets divides into two. Each nucleus bits or enters into the new bud. After that is a full grown of the bud, it is detached from the parent and leads to live independent. This method is called, the word is budding in yeast. Bud, small bud, outgrowth, that is called a budding in yeast. This is a budding in yeast. We see the picture is very clearly. First one, a small outgrowth. Afterwards, this outgrowth is a cut from the parent, fourth stage, to lead into the what means independent. This method is called budding. Budding is occurs in where? Yeast. Very good. Now, next we go for the fragmentation. What is mean fragmentation? MS Raju. Fragment. Look at the board. Fragmentation, a commonly seen in filamentous algae. That is, name of the algae is called Spirogyra. Spirogyra, a filamentous algae. Filamentous means line, this line. Now this is a filamentous algae. Now the Spirogyra is a cuts or a breaks into two or many pieces. Two or many pieces or fragments. Each fragments afterwards to develop to produce the what means a new individuals. Like we have to see here, this is a filamentous Spirogyra, gets break it into several pieces, each piece to form the new Spirogyra. This method is called fragmentation. Fragmentation, kandam tundama vetti poradhu, that is called fragmentation. Regeneration. What is mean by regeneration? The regeneration is very commonly observed in our instantaneous. While if you have to fell down, immediately say what means injured, or even sometime cut your finger. The finger is won't grow. The finger healing of the what means a finger, healing of the what means wound. This is an example for regeneration. The name is the ability of living organism to able to last parts, regain the what means a last parts. This ability we call the word is regeneration. This regeneration, for a best example, cut it your hair, again they are a regrow. Now if it is go for the what means a garden, the gardeners are here to cut or mow the what means a grass. After a week, again it needs the what means a mowing means cutting the grasses. This is an example. Here also example regeneration. This regeneration power is very high in lower plant and lower organism, lower animals. This is a very less in higher plants and higher organism. Regeneration is very important. Without regeneration, no chance to healing the wound in our body. Okay, right, good. Next, Mr. Gautam, look at the board now. We go for next heading. Spore formation. Non-flowering plants. Some of the non-flowering. What is mean by non-flowering? Plants do not bear any flower or a seed. Such plants are called the word is non-flowering plants. Namely, bacteria, fungi, ferns and mosses. These are the what we say non-flowering. They are produce the what we say one small structure, very minute structure. This structure we call the word is spore. They are formed from a minute body, simple small structure. This is called a spore. This is we call the word is spore. Now the spore is a covered. The spore have thick wall. This thick wall is helps to protect the what means a spore alive. While if it is the condition of the surroundings or very adverse condition, adverse means without getting the water, scarcity of water lack of food. Lack means absence of food. That now that spore is always is being inactively. When the spore is spread and fall in any suitable condition which germinate, produce the what means new plant. Such method is called the word is spore formation. Now we take the what means fungi. The fungi, it shows the what means this is a fungi, bread mold. The bread mold, after we have to bring the bread without taking or eating, we will be say let them leave it on the any place. Within within 1 or 2 days, it shows the what means a blacky structure or called that is a powder like fungus. This fungus are produced the what means spore. This method of reproduction is called spore formation. Spore formation. Are you understand? Very good. Now we go for the what means next important topic, vegetative propagation. What is mean by vegetative propagation? Vegetative means this is one of the asexual method of reproduction. Asexual, how many parent is involved? Only one parent. Very good. In this method of reproduction, without involvement of the what means a seed, without involvement of the what means any flower, the any part, for example vegetative parts. What is the vegetative parts? That is called leaves, stem and roots. These are gives rise to new individual, new plant is developed. Such method we call the word is vegetative propagation. Now let us we have to see the what means vegetative propagation in different things. By vegetative propagation by roots. In some plants, examples, sweet potato, dahlia. This is we already everyone we seen the what means one of the flower. That is called dahlia flower. Dahlia flower. Okay. Now this is that plant dahlia. Asparagus. They are mostly to produce the what means store the food material within a root region. That is called this like structure. A swollen roots. Swollen roots. This is we have to see here. The roots of dahlia, that is a swollen, a bunch of roots, underground roots. If it is cut, it can able to produce the new plant. Now that is a vegetative propagation by root in case of dahlia. Clear? The next we see the what means a stem. Now everyone, children, what is this? Sir, potato, right? Very good. This is what is this? This is also potato, right? Picture and then real specimen. Could you see the what means a potato in during the winter season? Yes, sir. How is it? It bears a very minute, small, eyes. That is called bud-like structure. That bud-like structure we call the word is eyes. The potato which bears the what means a small structure is called eyes. That eyes. These eyes are a sprout. Sprout means germinate. To produce the new plant. To produce the new plant. Now, this is a edible part. Which part we have to eating this? In actual fact is this is nothing but stem part. The stem we are eating, which consisting of the what means a stored food material. Stored food material. Like we have to take likewise we take the what means is one of the item. Now this is a ginger. Now the ginger is also is a swollen underground stem, swollen underground stem. These stems which bear the very minute small bud. This is called small structure bud. This bud is after to produce the what means gradually to break it into and produce the what means a new plant. That is called ginger plant. Now the ginger is a underground stem. Now this underground stem we call it as underground swollen stem. In ginger we call it as rhizome. Like potato we call it as tuber. Potato and we call the word is tuber. Potato we call the word is tuber. Okay. The stem also we have to sometime in our area. We cut the what means a sugar cane and cut small thing, small. We will be take the what means a small breaks a sugar cane and planted into the what means a mud soil. Afterwards, from the what means a bud like growth on the stem to produce the what means a new plant, that is a sugar cane, like a gladiolus, any other plant. This is a stem, underground stored food material. In the stem, underground stem, in potato call it as tuber, in ginger call it as rhizome. We have to go for the what means next heading. Leaves, that is this is we call the word is potato, sprouted potato. Do you know one thing about the potato? Potato produce flowers, fruits and seeds. Yet the seeds are not produce the what we say plant. Rarely to produce the what we say plant, but mostly they are produced by means of a stem, that is a eyes, because these seeds are very not a viable, that is called inviable, not வீரியமில்லாத விதைகள், that is called. So now the mostly they are produced by means of that is called stem, which bears the what means is a small structure, that is eyes. Through this eyes they are propagate. Okay, next we will take the what means a Colocasia. In case of the Colocasia, a short stem which store the what means a food material, which produce the what means a some in winter season. You could buy the what means a Colocasia, Karnakadangu. We see the what means a small outgrowth bud. These buds are here to give rise to produce the new plant. This is also nothing but comes under the vegetative propagation by stem. Okay. Next we go for the what means next part, vegetative propagation by leaves. Now we take the what means could you here Katipotal Kutipodum plant? What is this? That is nothing but is a bryophyllum. In this case of bryophyllum and begonia, the plant area gives rise to by means of leaves, vegetative propagation by leaves. In this case, this is a bryophyllum leaf. On the margin, small bud-like structures are growth over the margin, intact margin of the leaf. After that is a grows and cut it down, and then is a to lead to the what we say independently a new plant is developed. That is a propagation by leaves in case of bryophyllum leaf and begonia. Could you see the what means is a bryophyllum leaf? Is a exact structure. It bears the what means is one small notch. That notch, from this notch, yes, leaflet, small leaflet are a grow. Afterwards, that is a fully grown, detached from the parent plant. It can able to live independent. This method of propagation is called vegetative propagation by leaf. Katipotal Kutipodum. Good. Now we learn the what means all these things. Next we go for the advantages bryophyllum structure. You want to see the structure is very clearly. Mr. Shravan Babu, look at the picture. You learn more thing from this. This leaf, it shows the what means how many buds are there. Each buds are go for it leads to what means a new plantlet are developed. These plantlet after grown, it will be detached from the parent plant. It is can able to live independent. Good. Now, what are the advantages? Vegetative propagation. What are the advantages in a vegetative propagation? Now we see here very important. In this method of vegetative method of reproduction is very easier method, very fast. That is called rapid. Easier. It is an easier, rapid, no any expense. That is a less expensive method of reproduction. First point. Next, second point. Now we are eating so much of seedless grapes. These now they produce what we say the seedless plants can be raised. Seedless plants can be raised in this method. Next point. In this method, the young ones are produced. These young ones are very much similar to the what means parents. There is no any variation. So that is called they show no variation. Next point, they show no variation. If it is comes from, for example, if it is comes anything, that is called as simply similar to the what means a parent. This. Next, some of the plant, we know that the banana plant, rose, sugar cane, sweet potato, jasmine, they do not produce the what mean any viable seed. What do you mean by viable seed? Veeryam illada vidaigal. Now, such plants can be easily grown by this method. What method? Vegetative propagation. Could you understand the vegetative propagation? Mr. Shobhan Babu, sir, tell. Now, that is these plants comes from any part, that is a vegetative part, like that is called a leaf, stem, root, like this. Okay, now we go for the what means sum of the lesson. This lesson, the reproduction in plants. That is if there is no any reproduction, including in human, what will happen? Species perish. What is mean by perish? Good. Next, modes of reproduction. How many types? Asexual method, first asexual and then sexual. The next is, what are the methods of asexual reproduction? Binary fission, budding, fragmentation, regeneration, spore formation and vegetative propagation. Are you understand? Good. Now, from this we want to learn and collect the much information about, apart from these studies, you want to collect the so much of things from out of the areas. What are the plants, what are the animals, how they are reproduced, whether it is reproduced in the asexual method or sexual method, you can identify. What children, today are you enjoying my class? Yes sir. Right. Thank you children.
ஆசிரியராகிய நான் காலத்தை மனமே உணர்ந்து உணர்வுடன் செய்வன தேர்வு செய்து சிறந்த ஆசிரியராக திகழ்வேன்.